Hey everyone, it's GailLyn here, the queen of journaling on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Today is January the 23rd, 2026 already. And I am using this time, it's a Friday, to talk about a few of my favorite things. I know I may have stated in an earlier short that I would be featuring it in February, but I'm just so excited because I have so many things that are my favorite things. And as I related to journaling, I write them down. I have a journal where I list all of my favorite things, and I'm going to leave this behind for future generations. It's only a short page right now, but I have other journals where I list a whole lot of other items. Tchotchke, I call it. But I also find that this is necessary to leave behind for generations to come because our favorite things are something like a time capsule that we can store items or keep items around our house in a certain location. And our grandchildren and their children and the next generation after them, they can later on find these items and say, wow, this is awesome. Look at this. Look what was going on in 2026. Because believe it or not, time is moving. I also want to talk today about how I was looking for something, going through some papers, no coincidence, and discovered that I've been journaling since 1983. And I'm not going to read it all, but this was so cute to me because I would journal about my day at school and I would talk about the different boys that I liked, which I'm sure everyone in maybe fifth grade was going through. But this is cute. I want to show it to you before I start. These are my few of my favorite things. So this is how I feel about boys. I think boys are great. It's common because I am a girl. I've never experienced a real love before, as I can say, but I'll never forget sixth grade. There was a boy that was one of my favorites. I met a boy named Robert. I won't give you his last name. I really met him in fifth grade, so I might be in sixth grade here. And I liked him then, but I didn't really get to know him until that next year. This is so cute. He was so nice to me. I'll never forget in English when he first came, he volunteered to sit in a seat in front of me. I almost fainted. Then I remember all those secret looks. One day I was raising my hand to go to the library and he just leaned back in his chair and stared at me. And I didn't mind. I loved every minute. So you see how just little things. 1973. This is so cool. I guess that's what leads me to my position now as the journaling queen. But anyway, going to my next topic. These are a few of my favorite things. I don't own the rights to that song, but it's taken from The Sound of Music. Back in the 60s, I believe. Julie Andrews sang that in The Sound of Music when she was teaching the young children that she was actually nannying what her favorite things were during a thunderstorm, and it made the children feel a lot better about the storm that was going on around them. So my sister and I used to sing it all the time to each other when we were little, and storms would come up. We lived in Colorado at the time, and we had lots of thunderstorms then. So I say that to say, keeping track of what we think are our favorite things, or just someone or something or somewhere that we love, and leaving it for the next generation, it's beneficial. You may not feel like it. You may think, oh, whatever, I don't have time. But taking this time and reflecting on it later, and then someone else finding it years down the road, it's just, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? So I wanted to say that what I've always thought was a symbol, a favorite symbol of mine was a butterfly. And with the butterfly, of course, I have a lot of butterfly items here, such as my butterfly ink pen that was given to me recently, because now I'm starting to get gifts that are in tune with what I talk about on my videos. And my sister the other day just gave me butterfly post-it notes. So I thought, oh my goodness, this is so cute. Next, I have a butterfly phone holder, cell phone holder, that was given to me for Christmas, and I just love it. And it's pink. It's getting to be one of my favorite colors. Speaking of pink, I was able to find a pink top to go with my ribbon breast cancer earrings that my best friend Linda E crocheted for me, and I just adore them. I adore them, and I may start to wear pink at least once a week now, just so I can feature these breast cancer ribbon crochet earrings. I think this is so neat. But inbox me if you want to find out how to get a pair. We'll make sure you get them. That would be awesome. Of course, I have another butterfly that I keep on my office desk. It's just a stand. And I think it's just beautiful because it's a butterfly that has just come out of a cocoon. So that butterfly that was a caterpillar crawling across the land and then slowly turned into a cocoon and erupted as a beautiful butterfly. That's transformation. That's the whole idea behind my love of butterflies. I also have another butterfly object that I like that was given to me, that was made by one of my grandchildren. It's a picture, but it's the little beads in here that I think she took the time to create and then paste and put in a picture frame for me as a Christmas gift. I just love it. See, these are cherished items that I will leave behind for generations to come. Now, another item that I like, and it goes along with the butterfly theme that I like, is lighthouses. So I collect lighthouses, and I love lighthouses. I have several of them up in my bedroom, but I only brought one down to show because I am working currently on another children's book that has a story about butterflies, lighthouses, and a third item that I like is ladybugs. And I'm going to tell you what those meanings are for ladybugs. This is so cute. I use this as one of the items that I would sew on my water bottle holders when I was crocheting. And here's another little charm of a ladybug. I want you to see the entire thing now that I would use to put on my crochet water bottle holders. So I say all that to say that I'm currently working with a book illustrator on an upcoming book that talks about the butterfly, the lighthouse, and the ladybug. And this is so nice the way it's coming along, because there's a story behind putting all three of these together. The butterfly, it says on here, it means transformation, rebirth, or hope. A lighthouse symbols hope, guidance, safety, and resilience. One of my favorite words. And the ladybug is a symbol of prosperity, protection, and love. So I'm going to combine all three of these together, and I'm going to create a children's book maybe in the early spring. Now lastly, I have a collection of cups that I love. I already showed you my coffee mug with my books that I have published on Amazon.com. And then I love coffee mugs too, so I have a variety of coffee mugs that I love. But I think I mentioned in an earlier video that one of my students always, he just seems to find items for me that no one else would find. And this was a coffee cup that was presented to me about 2 years ago. And it says prayers for a teacher. And it has a little steam top. But I thought this was extremely beautiful. On the back it says, God bless this teacher who has blessed young lives with what they'll need to build a better world. Teachers are so important. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about anyone that teaches, anyone that has time or the ability to teach children or teach adults is awesome. It's an awesome position. It's an awesome gift. It's a talent that God has given you. And on the top of the mug, it just has a few scriptures that says, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the Lord. And that's 1 Corinthians 15:58. So isn't that awesome? Prayers for a teacher. With the steam top. And it has the little children's hands on it. I just think this is so awesome. Lastly, I have an item. Because I drink water. I'm not a water drinker, but I'm trying to make myself drink more water. Because it's important. As we get older, we need to have water. Even when we're young, we need to have water and replenish any of the electrolytes that we lose in our bodies. It doesn't matter what the season is. It's important to drink lots of water. So, someone presented me with this beautiful butterfly cup. And it has the little metal straw. And it's metal on the inside. So it keeps your water a lot cooler and for a lot longer. And it says faith, hope, and love. Which is what I'm here for. This is what my journaling is all about. My videos, faith, my favorite word, hope. It's relatively the meaning of faith. And love, we all just want to love one another. I may have forgotten to show you my collection of ink pens, but you've already seen my pen that says Walk by Faith, Trot by Sight, that I always give out with a book purchase of my book, Walk by Faith, Trot by Sight. And it also comes with a handy bookmark. So bookmarks are important because we're always losing where we are and go back to find it and you can't find it, especially when you're in a hurry. So that's important to have. I also have these cute little butterfly I think they're page clippers for your books. They're a bookmark that I gave out at my book signing. So if you're reading something and you lose the page, you just clip it on. And then you can go back to the page later. I think it's cute. And you can either clip it on this way or this way. But it stays on the page so you don't lose it. Anyway, it clips on. It's a page clipper bookmark. And lastly, my favorite ink pens. So I showed you the one that goes with my crown back here, my queen crown. And now, recently, my sister gave me my favorite color, green. It's the Royal Crown Diamond for the queen to sign her books, or to sign or write anything. And I think I've showed you my butterfly pens before. So these are my favorite things. Video part 1. There may be some others in the future, but everything that I present on my videos has a main trajectory, which is journaling. And again, I'll show you each one of my journals. I have the Insight Journal, and that's the hindsight journal to the book, to my book, Walk by Faith, Try by Sight. And I wanted you to see just how I have the butterfly clips in here. But I journal all the time in here about my current faith requests and things that I'm trying to get accomplished. And I put stickers on them, and I keep myself encouraged. And one day someone will find my journal and they'll say, this was so cool. I also have my Celebration of Life journal that is made for those who are no longer with us. And you can decorate it. It has spaces to do photos and write poems and memoirs to your loved one that's no longer here. And then I have my Celebration of Love journal that's made for our current loved ones that are here with us. Our husbands, our wives, our children, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, our cousins, anyone that you find that you love. You could have a Celebration of Love journal, and it also has the same features for photos, memoirs, anniversaries, reminders for birthdays. It's really nice. And lastly, I have my I Remember When scrapbook, which I've definitely talked about before, because it features items that we don't see anymore, and it talks about the good old days and things that our children in the next generation will probably not be aware of, but now they'll know. Cowboys and Indians, the first car, the Ford Model T, the first actual means of transportation, which was a horse and buggy. Some remedies for when we didn't feel well back when I was coming up, and I'm sure they're still around. The aloe plant if you were burned, or a cup of chicken soup if you caught a cold. But I also talk about little things like games we played, hopscotch. We had record players. We didn't have cell phones. We had to be creative in our own mind. So those are my journals and my book that is now available on Amazon.com. And I want to go over, just for a moment, briefly, undermine the importance of journaling series, because that's what this is, the importance of journaling series. I talk about the different types of journaling that is available for us. Everyone doesn't have to follow each video. You might not want to leave an affirmation journal. You might not want to leave a journal that will talk about some other idea or something that you don't want to talk about. It may be personal, but it's totally up to you. I just throw those hints out there. So when we talk about journaling keepsakes, because this is exactly what this is. A journal is a keepsake. It's sort of like a time capsule that you fill with items and you bury it in the ground, and then 50 years later, 20 years later, 10 years later, you dig it up, or the next generation finds it and they go, wow, this is what was going on at that time. Journaling keepsakes for future generations. Its favorite things are not trivial. They are emotional fingerprints. Emotional fingerprints. They become keepsakes for future generations. What we love today becomes a window into what we were tomorrow. And that's good to know. Favorite things capture everyday humanity. They reveal personality, culture, faith, and a season of our life. And, you may call it or refer to it as phases of our life, a circle of life, which is definitely going around. Because I was told years ago when I was younger, maybe because I grew up in the Baptist church, that you're once born, but you're twice a child. That's the circle of life. So we call it a season. Future generations don't just want facts, they want feelings. One day someone will want to know what made you smile on an ordinary day. And you'll be able to preserve family identity. Way cool. Build emotional bridges across generations. And it turns ordinary life into a meaningful history. So history is important. I don't know how much history is being taught in schools right now, but hopefully you can be the creator of your own family history. And that would be awesome. That's why I say there's never any time or any moment to say I have nothing to do. You should never be bored in this world because there's so much to keep you occupied. And if you decide you just want to sit home and be bored, I mean, I think that's just totally up to you, and that's okay. But I say all that to say that I will continue to present these videos on the importance of journaling, on the importance of leaving a legacy, just with the hopes that it gives my viewers insight on the various ways of journaling, and that you can jump on board and keep that train moving. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked my video, please share it. Please follow it, and it costs you nothing to subscribe. In the meantime, I hopefully and prayerfully will see you next time.